In 6 weeks after we started our 3x5 card file system, everything had turned around.
I live by 3 rules. To don't sweat the small stuff. What doesn't matter just doesn't matter. To laugh every single day.
Oh my goodness! I'm going to look like Laura Linney.
Recently, I got to talk with Dr. Mark Sargent about the care and feeding of puppies. Dr. Mark let me hold this adorable basset hound, and when the interview was over, I didn't want to let her go.
So are you a dog person or a cat person personally? Not dog.
I like dogs.
Dogs.
Probably better, and it's interesting because my wife, Gail, she really loves cats. But when we sit down at the sofa in the evening, the cat comes to me, which frustrates her.
Sure.
You know, because the cat likes me.
And does the dog go to her?
Not necessarily. He doesn't. He loves everybody. But she particularly likes the cat. It'll step over her to get to me.
So when, I know this from being a mom and having animals, that the children want, oh please, a puppy for Christmas.
Right.
Or a kitty.
Sure.
And then they get it and they
Yeah.
promise, I promise I'll feed it and take care of it and clean up after it, and then
Right.
they don't.
Right.
And so you were telling me earlier, what you had some great
Sometimes
ideas.
that happens. Sometimes that happens. And certainly what's important with this, I think, is that the parent realize that they're going to have to they're going to be the ones really ultimately responsible for the care of the new pet, because the child may or may not be able to fulfill their promise to you to do the feeding and the watering and all of that. You're going to certainly have to supervise it, make sure it happens, maybe set up a program where the kids, you know, maybe even mark it off that I did it today. I fed, I watered, I did whatever, cleaned the dog yard or whatever. Oversee it and help them, encourage the kids. But if they don't, you're going to have to fill in the blank. You know, you're going to have to make up the difference to make sure that that's happening, so that the pet doesn't get, you know, go without food, water, you know, his bed's clean and dry, all of those things. So, but it's a great learning opportunity and experience, and builds wonderful memories for the kids to be able to have a pet, something that's theirs oftentimes, that they grew up with.
Do you think it's a good idea with dogs to train them to have a kennel that they sleep in? Or do they really like that?
They do. They feel like it's a secure place that's their home, that's theirs, you know. And sometimes we start out with having dogs, say a puppy, in a kennel for house training purposes, because they usually won't go to the bathroom in there. And it's an opportunity then to leave them in there for a while, take them out to the yard to go potty, praise them when they go outside. Eventually they come out into the house, but they don't have to, you know, they know that they still have to go outside to go potty.
I see.
But they tend, if you leave that kennel open, they'll go in there and that's their little secure place, you know, a little enclosure that they feel comfortable in and a safe haven sort of, so they'll get to where they like to go back and stay there, so they can identify with that. And that's probably is important to them, because rather than just having the whole run of the house, they like to have their own special place that's theirs.
Dr. Mark, what would you tell a child on how to handle a pet and what they need to do to be responsible?
Yeah. And sometimes that happens. The little kids will bring in their pets, you know, to get their vaccinations and exam, and it's their pet, and so it's a good opportunity to talk to them about the responsibility that it is. You know, to make sure that, you know, just like the kids, how they need 3 meals a day, that this little puppy needs to eat 3 meals a day. Also needs water and care, and also love. You know, they need to be, you know, attention spent with them every day, and they need your care and your love to them, and also that they handle them properly. They're not, some little kids, you know, they're used to a little toy, you know, that they might drop or throw, and this is not a toy.
No.
You know, this is a living little animal, little creature that needs loved and handled properly, and so we don't want to be dropping it. We don't want to be, you know, throwing it down. It needs to be picked up gently and handled gently, and not overhandled and held upright, you know, with the head up.
And not dragged around under its arms.
That's
where
right.
The rest of it's hanging down.
We need to handle them, you know, like we'd want to be handled, you know. So.
Do you think this is... She acts like she's been tranquilized. She hasn't.
She's just real comfortable with you.
She's just a basset hound. Oh, any of you know I love basset hounds, and this is a treat for me because we don't have a dog anymore.
Adore who you are. Adore where you are. Adore who you're with.